everybody. Thank you so much for tuning back in with me. I'm Joanna M. Cameron. I'm a mental health therapist. I'm a life coach. I'm bringing you tips and tools that are going to help you with life and love, as well as your mental health. So I know that this is the month of February, and during the month of February, everybody gets caught up in the fact that it's Valentine's Day, and everywhere you go, you see things that remind you of love and being in relationships and being happy, right? Well, I'm going to give you 3 tips today on why you may not be thriving in love. And you're probably not going to like a couple of them, but here we go. So tip number 1 is I want you to let go of the dysfunction of your childhood. By that I mean we carry over everything that we saw, everything that we felt, and everything that we learned growing up as children. If you didn't see a loving home growing up and all you saw was fighting and bickering and arguing, or you may have grew up in a home where you just didn't feel loved, and that could have come from either your mother or your father or any other caregiver. You just didn't get that genuine feeling of love that you felt like you should have received as a child growing up. So what happens is you'll carry that over into adulthood and think that everything is just dysfunctional in your relationships. And even if it's not, you'll start to project that into your own life. So let's say you get into a relationship. Automatically, you have this wall that goes up. You put your guard up thinking this person is going to cause harm to me. They're not going to love me the way that I need to be loved. They're going to treat me the same way that I was treated as a child growing up, or all we're going to do is argue. This isn't going to work out. So you begin to self-sabotage. And I need you to let go of that childhood dysfunction. You've got to give every potential relationship its own fair chance to thrive. Sometimes we end these relationships before they ever have a chance to get started, and then we wonder why things aren't working out. The reason why I say you may not like some of the stuff I'm going to say is sometimes you have to look at you. Sometimes you're the problem. It's not always the person that you're connecting with or you're trying to connect with that's causing the rift in the relationship. Sometimes you just go into it with a negative mindset and a negative attitude, already expecting the worst and not completely expecting the best. So take a look at yourself and make sure it's not you that's causing the rift before it ever even gets a chance to thrive. Okay, so that's number 1. And the second thing I want you to do is know what you love and like. Make sure that you've spent time with yourself and you've had an opportunity to actually know what it is that causes you to thrive, that causes you to feel joy. Spend some time alone with you, because if you don't enjoy you, how do you expect someone else to enjoy spending time with you? I kind of learned this growing up. I also was one of those people who kind of carried over some of the baggage from my childhood. I wasn't necessarily somebody who grew up in a loving home environment. I know there was love there, but the way that it was displayed was not necessarily what I would say was conducive to the love that I expected to receive as a child. So because of that, I spent a lot of time by myself, and I was forced to do things alone. And it caused me to, in a sense, get to know what I like and what I don't like. So I think for that aspect of it, it was a benefit for me. And that's what I want you to do. Even though I was forced into spending a lot of alone time, I want you to choose to spend some alone time. I want you to choose to spend that time with yourself, find out who you are, what you like, what you don't like. And during that process, what you get to do is you know how to share that information with others. You know how to let them know what is valuable, what's important to you, and what you do and don't like. So spend some time with yourself, get to know yourself, intentional alone time. And that way you're ready to give of yourself to somebody else, because now you're comfortable with you. And you're not just dependent upon them to complete you. Does that make sense? All right. And the third thing and the final thing is be upfront about your non-negotiables. I don't want you to wait until you're midway through the relationship, 2 years in, and then all of a sudden you're saying, well, I'm not going to tolerate this, or I don't want this, or I don't like the way you're handling this. In the beginning, if you are getting yourself involved in a relationship and you're connecting with somebody, start off early letting them know what it is you're not going to tolerate, in a sense, what you're not going to put up with, and what you're not willing to negotiate or bend on. These are things that you know pretty early about yourself, but because you're in this new relationship, you don't want to do anything to rock the boat, right? Well, I want you to rock the boat before the boat gets tipped over. It's important to go ahead and let them know in the beginning, very early on, that these are things you're just not willing to bend on. I always say that you should identify what your top 3 non-negotiables are. So make sure you're solid on those. Make sure you know exactly what it is you're not willing to bend on. You don't want to get into a relationship and just because it's new, then all of a sudden you are kind of cheating on what you said in the beginning was a non-negotiable, because then you'll constantly find that you're compromising your own wants, beliefs, and desires. Before we go any further, I want you to subscribe, like, and share this video. I also want you to go to my website, joannamcameron.com, and I want you to sign up for my monthly newsletter, A Cup of Joe to Go. In that, I'm going to give you tips and tools, some things that you can kind of take with you on the go, and that'll just give you a boost to help navigate through life, love, and mental health. All right, so back to what I was saying. Do not bend on those non-negotiables. It can become very confusing in a relationship, and all you'll do is frustrate yourself as well as a potential partner. You don't want to have them questioning, well, can I get away with this? Or is she going to leave me if I do this? You want them to know, if you do this, I'm walking away. If you give me this, then we can work things out. Be solid, be firm, and know what that is for you. Don't bend on those. If you'd like further information on exactly how to go about identifying what those non-negotiables are for you, leave me some comments below. I will be more than happy to explain in detail exactly how I came to identifying what my non-negotiables are and how I can help you find what yours are as well. So these are, again, just a few of my tips that'll help you in finding the love that you want in a relationship. Take a look in the mirror, make sure that it's not you. Make sure you're not carrying over a bunch of baggage that needs to kind of be buried, that you need to let go of. Let go of the dysfunction and the baggage from early on in your life, in relationships, growing up as a child, wherever it came from. Let it go so that you're able to move on and thrive. And also know what you love and like. Make sure you identify for yourself. Spend some time alone with you. And don't bend on those non-negotiables, okay? I promise love is out there. I found love a second time around after my divorce, and you just can't be afraid to put yourself out there. I'm Joanna M. Cameron. Make sure you go to that website, sign up for that newsletter, joannamcameron.com. I will see you again, same place next week. Bye for now.